Hey guys, happy Saturday. Today we're going to be talking about weight loss. If you guys have been struggling with weight loss, then stay with me over the next 30 minutes because I'm going to share with you guys some tips and tricks that you guys can use in order to battle some of those challenges that you're having. So, if this is the first time that you guys have seen me, my name is Ross. I'm based in London. I've got over a decade of experience in the health and fitness space. I've been running these TikTok live sessions since the start of January, so coming up to 2 months now. If you guys have got any questions whilst I'm running through the session, then please feel free to ask me any questions in the comments. Please like the live so I know you guys are finding the session valuable. If you guys do join this session late, I also do post all of my live videos on my YouTube channel. So feel free, please, to go on there and check out my YouTube channel to see the other lives that I've posted. But guys, today the main focus is around weight loss. So if you're trying to lose weight but the scale isn't moving, it's probably not your workouts. It's going to be what I'm going to be covering over the next 20 to 25 minutes. This live is for people who feel like they're doing everything right, but they still feel stuck. I've helped people lose weight without cutting out their favorite foods. And that's one of the main topics or main points that I want to raise. Is that you guys don't need to cut out your favorite foods in order to lose weight. That is something that a lot of people think that they need to do. They need to cut out all of their favorite foods. That is not the case. So what I'm going to move into first is the main core problem that I think a lot of people will find when it comes to weight loss. So most people think that weight loss is about eating less and exercising more, but they ignore consistency. So just to break this down really, really simple for you guys, if you guys are really, really good Monday to Thursday, you're on track with your healthy eating, with your exercise, the weekend hits like it is today on a Saturday and everything resets. So you have a massive blowout on the weekends. You fall off track. That's the main reason why nothing changes. So when we're having a look at it as a full 360 view, you don't have a motivation problem, you have a consistency problem. So let me just repeat that for anyone that's joined late. So the main core problem of why you're struggling to lose weight is because most people think that weight loss is about eating less and exercising more, but they ignore consistency. Most people are good Monday to Friday. The weekend hits and then everything resets. That's why nothing changes. It's super critical to always make sure, even at the weekends on Saturdays and Sundays and Friday evenings, that you have got an element of consistency and tracking when it comes to your health and fitness goals. I always preach that 80% of the week you should be eating healthy. For 20% of the week, you can eat a treat. That means you can have maybe something that you enjoy. It could be a bit of chocolate. It could be crisps. It could be anything that you like to indulge in. However, you can't be just jumping straight off track, blowing your calories out of the water and then completely having a huge blowout. If you're doing that consistently for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it doesn't matter that hard work that you put in Monday to Thursday, because that is the main reason why nothing changes. What I want to focus on here is shifting the mindset from thinking that you've worked hard Monday to Thursday, it's the weekend so I can have a complete blowout. You need to generally have the same framework for your breakfast and lunch, I would say, for 7 days out of the week. And then for maybe a Saturday and Sunday evening, that's where you can maybe have a bit of a treat. You can maybe have a takeaway, but I'm not saying go all out and have 4 or 5 dishes, but it could be a little bit of a treat. And that's where you would, if you're having a bit of a takeaway on a Saturday or Sunday, that's where you'd factor in roughly those calories throughout that day, just to make sure that you're still on track. So, what I want to share with you guys is some practical tips that will help you in terms of your goal when it comes to weight loss. So, this is going to be something that you guys can implement today. So, if you guys want to lose weight without feeling starved, start with this. And the main thing that I want you guys to start with is every meal needs protein. I'm not saying you need to go out and do a full load of tracking, but I think the most important thing that you can do is it's all about making sure that you have a good source of protein with each of your meals. And that is for breakfast, that is for lunch, and that is for dinner. The main reason why you should be prioritizing protein is because if you're having a good source of protein with each meal, this is going to control your hunger, which means it's going to keep you fuller for longer. It's going to reduce snacking, and it's going to make calorie control easier. Sorry, Leia, I missed your question. Do you want to ask your question again? It just sort of jumped off of the comments. But just to cover that again, guys, first practical tip is making sure that you are having a good source of protein with each meal. Keeps you fuller for longer. So can I have 3 digestives in the morning? If I'm honest with you, 3 digestives in the morning is, as much as I love digestives, is not the best way to start your day. I would recommend to have a good, nutritious breakfast to set you up in terms of your macros. Having a digestive biscuit could be something that you could have on the weekend as a little bit of a treat. I wouldn't automatically suggest it as something that you have every day, if that makes sense. Please let me know if you've got any other questions. More than happy to answer any fitness related questions as we're running through. Guys, if you are finding this helpful, please like the live. Please feel free to ask any questions. If you guys are just joining the session late, what we're doing at the moment is just running through practical tips to be successful with weight loss. So we firstly ran through having a good source of protein with your breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The main reasons for that is it's going to control your hunger control. It's going to keep you fuller for longer. This means reduced snacking, makes calorie control a lot easier. So just as a practical tip, instead of toast for breakfast, you can have eggs or yogurt. A small change makes a big difference. So that's where it will make you feel like weight loss is easier, not stricter. So the next practical tip that I'm going to move into is a behavior change. So super important when it comes to not just weight loss, but any goal that you want to achieve when it comes to fitness. You need to focus on your habits, not just food. So here is something that no one is talking about. Your environment is controlling your results. And for me personally, just to be completely transparent with you guys, this is something that I can completely relate with. I did mention this in one of my other TikToks before, but I can't have snacks in the house in the week. I will literally just eat those snacks if they are visible in the cupboards. That could be like chocolate, it could be crisps, it could be cupcakes, it could be any treat that is in the fridge or in the cupboards. If it is in there, I'm going to eat it. And that is for someone who, look, I'm fairly focused, I'm fairly disciplined, I'm fairly dedicated. But if I've had a tough day and I go into the cupboards and I maybe see a little bit of chocolate or something that I really enjoy, for me personally, I can't say no to it. So the best advice I can give you, if the snacks are visible to me or they're visible to you, you're more than likely going to eat them. Let's be honest. So that's why I have a rule. I don't have snacks in the house Monday to Friday. It's as simple as that. There are no snacks in the house. Because by the time, even if I do have a bit of a craving in the week, if by the time I've even thought about heading to the shop to get some chocolate crisps or sweets or whatever it is, I already then reset my mind to be like, no, it's the week. I'm not going to get carried away. I can actually have a bit of a treat on the weekends. So the next thing that I wanted to cover as well is around the environment is controlling your results. If healthy food is inconvenient for you, you avoid it. So again, this goes back to a few of the points that I raised on my previous TikToks. If you are not meal prepping on Sundays, me being completely honest with you, you are not dedicated enough to get into shape. Because if you want to make the results happen, you will meal prep on a Sunday. And the main reasons why you'll meal prep on a Sunday is because cooking healthy food in the week is massively inconvenient. It's massively inconvenient after a long day at work. The last thing that you want to do is start cooking. So what does that mean? It means you're just going to jump on Just Eat, you're going to jump on Uber Eats, and you're going to order something unhealthy. Because cooking something healthy in the week, even if it's for a day or two, is just inconvenient. So that's the main reasons why you avoid it. And that's why it's so critical to make sure that you meal prep on Sundays, because when you come in from work or when you want to eat at lunch, you can then lean back on the meal prep that you've made because it is convenient. It's really, really important. Your environment is controlling your results. Again, if the snacks are visible, I can't control myself. If the snacks are visible to you, you probably can't control yourself. So really important to remember, do not have the snacks in the house Monday to Friday. Have a bit of a treat at the weekends. Meal prep on Sundays, because we don't want to be cooking every night in the week. Because if healthy food is inconvenient, you avoid it. So the action step that I want you guys to follow is put better options in front of you and hide the stuff that you overeat on. And that is something that I can completely resonate with altogether. And this is what I mean is, it's not with the snacks and with the healthy eating, it's not just about willpower, it's about convenience. And that's why you need to have an element of structure, which is going to set you up for success. Some myth busting things that I want to run through now when it comes to weight loss. A quick myth that I wanted to cover is carbs don't make you gain weight. I know a lot of a lot of videos that you'll see online is a lot of people saying that carbs are the enemy, they're evil. If you want to lose weight, then you need to cut out carbs altogether. Carbs don't make you gain weight. It is all about what you're having as a total calorie intake every day that matters most. Overeating equals weight gain. It's not just down to one food. So, do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, you could be eating all of the right things, but if you're eating over your calories, then it doesn't matter. You're still going to put on weight. And to be honest with you, you didn't gain weight from rice. You gain weight from overall eating too much. So I just want to move into now a personal story when it comes to weight loss. Just to be completely honest with you guys, I've been doing this a very, very long time in terms of health and fitness, exercising. I've done a lot of trial and error when it comes to getting in shape and getting fit. And I used to think that I needed to be perfect in order to lose weight. And you don't. You don't need to be perfect. There needs to be an element of consistency when it comes to your workouts. There needs to be an element of consistency when it comes to your diet. But the main thing that changed for me is we're all human beings. We're not robots. We all have feelings, we all have emotions, we all have good days, we all have bad days. And the most important things that we can do is put in structure. 80% of the week, we're going to eat healthy. 20% of the week, we're going to have a bit of a treat. And I used to think that you'd have to be perfect, eating perfect all of the time. I used to feel guilty for having a bit of a treat. I used to feel guilty for maybe, like just having, even sometimes like even having a takeaway. And sometimes we all need an element of balance because we're not robots. We're going to go crazy otherwise. And what I mainly focused on is I focused on the small, consistent habits instead of being in that mindset of I need to be perfect all of the time. Everything changed when I was like, look, I need to have an element of balance if this is going to be for the long term. Remember, it is all about being sustainable for the long term. It is not about quick fixes. We are not going to get quick fixes when it comes to getting into shape. If it was that easy and weight loss was that simple, everyone would be in shape. So that's why you need to have balance. So what we're going to just move into now is lastly is a call to action. So hopefully you guys have found this useful in terms of some tips and tricks for some weight loss. If you guys have joined this session late, you can find this on my YouTube channel where you can watch back all my lives where I've run through different topics. If you like the live, guys, or you found it useful, please like it. Please ask me any fitness related questions. I'm going to be doing my next live will be next Wednesday when I'll be doing that. If you guys have got any questions in the meanwhile, then feel free to message me on here, DM me. I'm more than happy to answer any fitness related questions that you guys have got. I wish you to have a lovely Saturday evening and a Sunday. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I shall see you guys next week.